The Canadian housing market just hit its lowest number of detached home sales on record, going back to 1997. Not because homes aren't available or interest rates are too high, but because of fear about Trump's tariff threats. This fear is creating what might be the best buying opportunity in years. While others hesitate, savvy buyers are finding motivated sellers willing to negotiate. We have analyzed the data and identified exactly how long this window might stay open before pent-up demand drives prices back up. But before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest content. The ripple effect of tariffs. When Trump's administration first announced potential tariffs on Canadian goods, few anticipated how quickly the shockwaves would reach the housing market. Within days of the tariff threats, a noticeable chill swept through real estate offices across Canada. Property listings that would typically generate multiple offers suddenly sat without a single viewing. Open houses that would normally draw crowds instead welcomed only a handful of curious visitors with no intention to buy. This wasn't just a normal market fluctuation. The Canadian Real Estate Association reported an immediate and unprecedented shift in buyer behavior, directly linked to the tariff announcements. Their leadership specifically noted that the uncertainty of the last few weeks seemed to be causing some buyers to think twice about big financial decisions, directly contributing to a measurable downturn in market activity. The uncertainty created by these threats effectively froze many transactions in mid-process. Deals that were nearly complete suddenly fell apart, as buyers requested more time to consider the potential economic implications. This hesitation wasn't just about the direct impact of tariffs on housing materials or costs. It stemmed from broader concerns about economic stability. In Toronto, a market known for its resilience and consistently climbing prices, real estate agents reported that properties which would have received multiple above-asking offers just weeks earlier were now selling below asking price, if they sold at all. The rapid shift created a psychological whiplash for sellers who had listed their homes expecting bidding wars, only to find themselves negotiating concessions with the few interested buyers. Vancouver's situation proved even more dramatic. In a city where foreign investment has historically driven much of the premium market, the combination of existing foreign buyer restrictions and new tariff uncertainties created a perfect storm. Properties in the luxury segment saw price reductions that would have been unthinkable just months earlier, with some sellers accepting offers 15 to 20% below their initial asking prices just to secure a sale. What makes this situation particularly unusual is the stark contrast with typical housing market patterns. Housing markets generally respond slowly to economic changes, with gradual shifts occurring over months or years. The immediate reaction to tariff threats represents an anomaly, a market responding to potential rather than actual economic changes, driven purely by uncertainty and fear. The Conference Board of Canada's Consumer Confidence Index dropped by a staggering 12 points in February, the largest single-month decline since 2023. This atmosphere of unease, reminiscent of the uncertainty during the early pandemic period, prompted potential buyers to adopt a cautious stance. Those who were on the fence about purchasing quickly decided to wait and see how the economic situation would unfold. This hesitation isn't limited to individual homebuyers. Investment groups and developers have also slowed their activities, postponing new projects and reconsidering existing commitments. The ripple effects extend beyond just home sales to impact construction, renovation, and even the rental market as uncertainty permeates every aspect of housing. Looking ahead, the long-term impact of these tariff threats depends largely on whether they materialize into actual policy. If implemented, Economists suggest the Canadian housing market could experience prolonged instability, with regional variations based on local economic diversification. Areas heavily dependent on industries directly affected by tariffs could see more significant and lasting housing market impacts. However, this period of turbulence has created something rarely seen in Canada's hottest real estate markets: a genuine buyer's market. The power dynamics have shifted dramatically, giving buyers leverage they haven't enjoyed in years. With increased inventory and decreased competition, buyers now have the opportunity to negotiate favorable terms, request inspections and conditions that would have been impossible in the seller's market of recent years, and potentially secure properties at prices significantly below what they would have paid just months ago. The Goldilocks moment, a perfect balance. In the complex landscape of the Canadian real estate market, buyers currently find themselves navigating what experts are calling a Goldilocks market. This term, borrowed from the classic fairy tale, describes conditions that are just right, neither too hot nor too cold. In real estate terms, this means fewer bidding wars and ample negotiating power, creating a rare window of opportunity for potential homebuyers in bustling cities like Toronto and Vancouver. This isn't merely theoretical. A powerful combination of reduced competition and sellers eager to negotiate forms a tangible reality. It's an enticing scenario for those ready to leap into purchasing a home, a distinct deviation from the typically stiff and unforgiving housing market. Buyers who have once found themselves on the losing end of bidding wars are suddenly encountering a vastly different situation. Imagine the relief and surprise when this newfound landscape allows them room to breathe, strategize, and negotiate. However, the tension in this Goldilocks market is palpable. Picture a ticking clock, where waiting too long risks losing these advantageous conditions. On the other hand, buyers who jump in too hastily without adequate preparation may find themselves at a disadvantage, having missed this opportunity's nuances. As they walk this tightrope, there's the pressure of making the correct move at precisely the right time. The market today is dotted with stories of buyers who cleverly capitalized on this moment. Consider a recent transaction in a Vancouver neighborhood. A Canadian couple, armed with insight into the current market dynamics, confidently made an offer on a home sitting unsold for over 3 months. Their proposal, which demonstrated an understanding of the seller's eagerness to move forward, was accepted at a price well below the initial asking. Their successful negotiation wasn't born from chance, but from precise timing and knowledge of market fluctuations. The conditions seem favorable due to hesitant buyers temporarily stepping away from the market, leaving those ready to act with fewer competitors. Properties that previously attracted multiple bids now entertain fewer offers, giving individual buyers more leverage than they might have had in recent years. It's as if a layer of pressure has been peeled back, allowing those determined enough to seize the opportunity to find themselves in these negotiations, perhaps mastering a rare predictability in price outcomes. Sellers, too, are shaping this landscape in unexpected ways. Many have faced months on the market without the interest that once characterized the pre-tariff conditions. Listings languishing beyond the 90-day mark often result in sellers growing increasingly receptive to price discussions. These motivated sellers are pivotal in this market phase, playing into the hands of buyers who recognize the depth of opportunity. With sellers eager to conclude deals, there's a noticeable shift where buyers push forward, leaving stronger guidance in the market's tempo. This window of opportunity won't remain open indefinitely. Recent BMO surveys highlight that around 72% of potential buyers are waiting for interest rates to dip. When they feel comfortable enough to re-enter, the buyer's market could shift dramatically, potentially increasing prices once more. For prospective homebuyers pondering timing, acting now offers the possibility of securing more favorable terms. The chance to bargain effectively, not only regarding the price but also conditions, represents a venue for securing significant savings and benefits, a refreshing turn from past struggles in a competitive market. Timing the market. Act or wait. Potential homebuyers are at a crossroads, wondering whether now is the time to make their move or if waiting might be the wiser choice. The current market, with all its unpredictability, presents a significant dilemma. Buyers are weighing the risks of engaging in transactions marked by volatility. Fear of unexpected shifts looms large, casting doubt on decisions that would otherwise be straightforward. Acting promptly in this market can result in securing a good deal. Presently, mortgage rates remain historically low, providing an incentive for buyers to strike while conditions are favorable. Current data suggests that, although rates are experiencing minor fluctuations, they still hover around the 2 to 3% mark for fixed-rate mortgages, according to the Bank of Canada. This favorable lending environment might not last, given potential economic changes on the horizon. Buyers who capitalize on these rates may find long-term financial benefits, particularly as inflation and economic pressures begin nudging interest rates upward. On the other hand, the volatile nature of the market suggests waiting could be beneficial. Economic instability might lead to better conditions if you're willing to hold off. Further declines in housing prices could occur, aligning with additional tariff decisions or economic shifts. Waiting could result in entering the market at a more advantageous time, provided interest rates do not spike significantly in the interim. Personal financial stability is crucial in these decisions. David Lebo, a real estate financial consultant, advises, "It's imperative to consider your financial health first." He suggests doing a thorough check on personal finances to understand the scope of affordability. Stable employment, clear debts, and a strong credit score can determine whether now is the time to take on the long-term financial commitment of a home. Financial advisors consistently emphasize the importance of having a solid financial foundation before jumping into the market. Consider a scenario. A buyer with stable employment and a strong credit score might find the current low rates appealing. However, if their job security is uncertain, waiting could be wiser. This highlights why financial readiness is crucial. Additionally, expert insights stress the importance of local market conditions in making buying decisions. While Ottawa's market remains stable, Calgary shows promise due to local industry, offering a blueprint for cautious optimism. Understanding these regional disparities is crucial. For instance, markets heavily influenced by foreign investments might face prolonged instability due to global economic pressures. Real estate experts also point out that microeconomic factors, such as employment rates in your desired area, might heavily influence market stability. Areas with steady job growth generally maintain more robust housing markets. This local dynamic can provide a more reliable insight than national averages when deciding if now is the right time to buy. Assessing readiness to buy involves multifaceted consideration. Determine if your financial situation aligns with potential market conditions. This requires not just an immediate appraisal, but projections. What can you afford if interest rates increase by 1% or even 2%? Consulting with financial professionals can bring clarity to these scenarios, enabling a more resilient approach. Also, consider your long-term plans. Are you prepared to hold on to the property for several years, even if the housing market faces downturns? Stability is key. Ensure your purchase aligns with long-term goals, enhancing both your financial outlook and life stability. As we've seen, this window of opportunity for buyers may not stay open forever. The market is poised on a knife edge. A resolution on tariffs or a surge in buyer confidence could rapidly shift the landscape. With the Bank of Canada actively cutting interest rates, demand could accelerate quickly, potentially erasing today's favorable conditions. This once-in-a-generation opportunity requires decisive action. Assess your financial position and risk tolerance promptly, as markets rarely announce when the perfect moment has passed. Consider consulting a real estate advisor to make an informed decision. The tariff situation has created opportunity amid uncertainty. Those prepared to act may find themselves rewarded with long-term financial benefits. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.